Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss an important concept in research and philosophy known as epistemology. Understanding epistemology helps researchers determine what counts as knowledge, how knowledge is acquired, and how truth can be justified in research. This discussion will cover the following areas: the etymology of epistemology, its definition, the main epistemological approaches in research, and the use of these approaches in conducting research. Etymology of epistemology. The word epistemology originates from two Greek words, episteme, meaning knowledge or understanding, and logos, meaning study or theory. Therefore, epistemology literally means the study of knowledge. It is a branch of philosophy concerned with questions such as, what is knowledge? How do we know something is true? What are the sources of knowledge? How can knowledge be verified? These questions are essential in research because researchers must decide how they will gather and interpret information. Definition of epistemology. Epistemology can be defined as the study of the nature, origin, and validity of knowledge. In research, epistemology refers to the beliefs researchers hold about knowledge and how knowledge can be obtained. Different researchers may have different views about reality and truth. Some believe knowledge can be measured objectively through observation and experiments, while others believe knowledge is based on human experiences and social interactions. These beliefs influence the methods researchers choose and the way they interpret findings. In simple terms, epistemology guides researchers in answering the question, how do we know what we know? So, epistemology simply means how knowledge is created, how we know something is true, what counts as valid knowledge. It is important because it affects research methods, data collection, data analysis, interpretation of findings. Epistemology guides researchers in deciding what kind of evidence they should collect, how they should collect it, and how they should interpret their findings. It is one of the foundations of research because it influences every stage of the research process, from selecting a research design to drawing conclusions. Different researchers may have different beliefs about knowledge. Because of these differences, they adopt different epistemological approaches. Each approach provides a unique perspective on how research should be conducted and what methods are most appropriate for answering a research question. Today, we will discuss the 5 major epistemological approaches: positivism, interpretivism, constructivism, critical theory, pragmatism. Let us first look at positivism. Positivism believes that reality exists independently of people. Truth can be measured objectively. Knowledge comes from observation and facts. Researchers try to remain neutral, objective, free from personal bias. Common methods used in positivist research are surveys, experiments, statistical analysis, and quantitative research. For example, a researcher studies, does study time improve exam performance? They collect numerical data, test scores, statistical evidence. Main goals of positivist epistemology are to test theories, to identify patterns, to make predictions, to generalize findings to larger populations. Simple idea: if we can measure it, we can study it scientifically. Now let us move to interpretivism. Interpretivism believes that people experience reality differently, meaning depends on personal and social experiences. Reality is socially constructed. Researchers focus on understanding feelings, experiences, perspectives, human behavior. Common methods are interviews, observations, focus groups, qualitative research. Now, let's look at an example. Instead of measuring grades, a researcher may ask, how do students feel about online learning? Main goal of interpretivist research is to understand meanings and experiences deeply. Simple idea: people understand the world in different ways. Constructivism. Constructivism is closely related to interpretivism. It says that people actively create knowledge. Knowledge develops through experience and interaction. Focus of researchers: how people form ideas, how understanding develops, how social environments shape learning. Some common research methods are case studies, narrative research, ethnography. Example: a researcher studies how teachers develop their teaching styles through experience. Main goal of constructivism is to understand how knowledge is constructed. Simple idea: knowledge is built through experience. Next, let us discuss critical theory. Critical theory focuses on the themes like power, inequality, social justice, oppression. Researchers believe that the society is influenced by politics, economics, and culture. Research may help create positive change by challenging power structures and giving voice to marginalized groups. We can identify critical discourse analysis, participatory research, and action research, etc. as common methods. Example: a researcher studies how education systems disadvantage poor communities. Main goal: to challenge injustice, to empower marginalized groups, to promote social change. Simple idea: research should improve society. Pragmatism. Finally, let us discuss pragmatism. Pragmatism is a practical and flexible approach to research. Unlike other approaches that strongly follow one philosophical perspective, pragmatism focuses on what works best to answer the research question. What does pragmatism believe? Pragmatists believe that there is no single best research method. The research problem should determine the method, not the other way around. Knowledge is valuable if it helps solve real-world problems. In simple terms, choose the method that best answers your research question.